Okay, let me share my screen again. The recording started. All right, so today we're going to learn lists. And there are lots of reasons to use lists, right? We can organize information, simple structure, it's easy to read and write. So we can arrange things in order, or we can also have a bullet point list like this, where there's just bullet points and there's no order. And it can be about anything, right? This is a Wikipedia article if anyone wants to take a look at it. It's just an article about lists. The article itself is a list. So if anyone does want to look at it, I can put it in the chat. That's not really that big of a deal, just something that's fun. And then let's move on. There's two different types of lists in HTML, right? There's unordered, and you can see in unordered, the bullet points are just, they're all identical, right? They're just circles. So yeah, and then there's ordered, which is just 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So it's numbered in order. So it's kind of self-explanatory, right? You can just kind of tell by the name what they do. And the first tag we're going to learn is the UL tag. And UL stands for unordered list, right? So again, that should be kind of easy to remember because it's an acronym for what it is, unordered list, right? That's the UL tag. So again, unordered list is the one with the bullet points that are plain, circular. And then we have the li tag. And the li tag defines things inside of the list. So you might be confused as to what that means. We're going to take a look at that in a second. So this is our list, right? This is our unordered list. So again, UL means unordered list. And inside this, we want to put our list content. How we're going to do that is using the li tag. So the li tag nests within the ul tag, right? So this is each individual thing within that list. So the first list entry is apples. This next is banana, next is milk, next is bread. What's going to happen? They're all going to show in the list, right? Each li tag indicates a separate bullet point, so to speak, right? So each next li tag is a bullet point. And we're also going to take a look at the ol tag. And the ol tag defines an ordered list, right? So this is the one where it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. And the ol, which is ordered list, also uses the li tag. And again, what did we learn that the li tag was? The li tag is an individual element inside of the list, right? So it's the individual item within the list. So we're still using the li tag no matter what type of list. So whether it's an ordered list or whether it's an unordered list, we're still going to use the li tag. And again, we see here, we see apples, bananas, milk, bread. So it is in order, right? And what if a list contains smaller lists? So I'm sure you guys have used this in Google Docs in school or whatever. You've had a list within a list, right? You click the tab and there's a list within a list in Google Docs, for example. But that's not how you do it in HTML, right? So how do we do that in HTML? How do we do this? For example, cookies, right? Types of cookies are chocolate chip and peanut butter, right? How do we do this in HTML? And even within the list, we can make another list within that list, right? So within chocolate chip is white chocolate chip, dark chocolate chip, right? And indentation shows the nesting structure of this, right? And so this is our list. This is our initial list, apples, cookies, milk. It's an unordered list, and each list element is here. Now, can anyone take a guess as to how I would have a list within this, let's say I wanted to list the cookies. How would I do that? Anyone take a guess? We didn't learn it yet, but anyone wants to take an educated guess? Any brave person? It's not the li tag, but it is a tag. What other tags have we learned? Okay, Ayan got it right. You put another ul tag, right? You put a ul tag within this. So within this here, we're going to put in a ul tag after the cookies, right? So let's take a look at that. We can see here, right? Within this UL tag, or within this li tag for cookies is right here. Within the li tag, we have a ul tag. So within the list, so this entire, how I want you to think about it, again, like scratch blocks, right? This entire thing is the list. This cookies thing is the list, like the individual element in the list. And within that, we can add another list, right? And this is the second list within our list. Okay? And again, with that second list within our list, use pink to differentiate it. Inside of that, again, we're going to have the li. So li doesn't go away, right? We're still using li. So within the unordered list, within the list element, there's going to be more list tags, right? So yeah, again, the ul tag is unordered list. Li tag is the individual list element. So we can see here this bullet, each bullet point is a list li. So this li corresponds with chocolate chip. This one with peanut butter. And let's go on to the next slide. And this is, again, another way, just like how we highlighted it, we can see within this li tag, there's inside, nesting inside of it. So we learned of that term nesting, right? So the ul tag here, or the unordered list, is nested inside of that bullet point, inside of that list element, right? It's nested inside of there. And next we're going to learn HTML styling. So that's the second thing we're going to learn today. And HTML styling is going to make our web pages look good, right? So we're going to learn how to add colors. We're going to learn how to add background color, how to center, how to move text to the right. We're going to learn all of those things. And the key to unlocking all of this is the style attribute, right? The style attribute is our key. And we learned about the href attribute, we learned about the source attribute, and today we're going to learn about the style attribute. And the style attribute lets us add several different types of styles to our HTML elements. So these are some examples of styles. So we can see color is one of them, background color is one of them, font size is one of them, and we're going to go into each one of these in more depth, so don't worry. And you can have multiple styles on one tag separated by semicolons, right? So semicolons is like this, it's the one with the period kind of on top and like a comma kind of on the bottom, if you want to think about it that way. So they're separated by semicolons, right? If you've ever taken Java, you know the for list, inside the for list, we separate things with semicolons. So if you've taken Java, that's one way to think about it. If you haven't taken Java, don't worry about what I'm saying right now. So this is a paragraph, right? And right now it says hello. So let's say style equals color blue. Now it turns blue. And when we want to, so if we set the style equal to something, right? We use quotes. We use quotes around it. And for that, for what, like the color itself, you use a colon, right? So semicolon is the one with the comma, colon is just the two dots, right? So use a colon to identify the color as blue. HTML has several colors. It doesn't have every color. We're going to take a look at the list of colors that HTML does have later. But this is how we define things, right? So for the color, this is how you do it. Then background colors are self-explanatory, right? Background dash color. Then we have the colon again, and it's yellow, right? And then we have another semicolon there. And then we have font size, and then we have 60 pixels, and now this font is bigger. So these are all style things that we can change, right? And you guys were, I think you guys asked about basically all of these. You guys asked how to change the text color. You guys asked how to make text bigger. And that is what we're learning today with inline styles. So today we're learning inline styles. Tomorrow we learn CSS, and we'll learn more about how to do that in a separate file and everything. But again, that's tomorrow. But you don't have to worry about that today. Today, just remember these simple tags, right? Style, color, blue, background color. You can also choose this from the same colors there, and then font size, right? So color, the color property changes the text color for the tag. The background color changes the background color for the tag. And then font size changes the size of the tag. This is all kind of self-explanatory from the name of the tags, right? And then there's another property we're going to take a look at, which is called text align. And all text align refers to is the alignment of text in the tag. So, in Google Docs, there's this little thing with like lines to the left, then lines in the middle, then lines to the right. In Google Docs, you can have text in the left, center, or right. And in HTML, you can do that too, but you use the text align property. And here we can see hello is in the left here, hello is in the center here, and hello is in the right here. And there are 140 colors that have names in HTML, right? So there's red, there's blue, there's green, there's cyan, and there's a lot more, right? The full name, all of them are here. I can copy that and then put that in the chat for anyone that's curious. But there are a lot of colors. All right, now let's take a look at everything in the editor. Create HTML, right? Okay, let's get rid of this HTML tag. Then we have the head tag. Then below this, we put the body tag. Click save, reload, and now we have an empty web page. Now I want to add a list, right? Let's say H1, and then we go. These are the courses Stambridge offers. All right. The morning class I did, this is my favorite food. This time let's do this, because why not? So we do the UL tag there, right? Then within that, does anyone remember what we put within that for each individual bullet point? Yes, the li tag, right? So I have the li tag here, and let's say math, science, web dev. One more, let's go with Python. These are the courses Stembridge offers: math, science, web dev, Python. And what if I wanted to make this a list of my favorite courses instead? These are my favorite. And let's say I wanted to say 1, 2, 3, 4. So I would make this an ordered list, which is OL, right? So I change it from UL, which is unordered list. I change that to OL, and that becomes an ordered list, right? And I click save. I reload, and now we can see all the courses here are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4. So my first is math. It's not. We don't even offer math, right? As of now. But this is just a random list, right? And let's say I wanted to list the science. Like I wanted to list the types of sciences I have. So let's say I wanted to list the following sciences. I want someone in the chat to tell me how to do it. Maybe even give me the exact code. So let's say I say biology, chemistry, physics. Someone tell me how to have a list within this that says biology, chemistry, physics. Like give me the exact code. I don't see a correct answer yet. There's some attempts. I like to see that. I would rather have you guys get it wrong than not try, right? So just try and say something. Give me the code I would put in here. So again, I see a lot of people doing the same mistake. Is anyone going to get it right? Again, how do I modify this? How do I modify this? Um, okay, Zir has a good idea, but you need to specify something. Okay, Faraz, I think Faraz has the right idea here. Kundan also has the right idea, right? Kundan, Faraz, Zir, you guys all have the right idea. Let's take a look at how this works, right? Inside of this li tag, we have science, right? Let's just add white space so that it's easier to read. HTML doesn't care, right? Inside of the li tag, I want to put in a ul tag, right? Unordered list. So inside of this li tag, again, I want to emphasize that. Inside of this li tag, which is the list, which is the individual bullet point, inside of that, I put a ul tag, which is an unordered list. And then within that, I have an li element, right? So I put li here, then I do biology, li, chemistry, li, right? Physics, right? Now click save. And we can see here within science, we have biology, chemistry, and physics. So again, let me use the annotate feature. I want everyone to notice this. You don't put the UL tag outside. You don't put it outside here. You put it inside this list element. And we have the individual things here. Li biology, Li chemistry, Li physics. Again, this is all inside of this Li tag, right? So this is enclosing all of it. So inside of this li tag, so it's nesting inside of here, right? Kind of like scratch blocks. So the ul tag is inside of the li tag. Now let's say I wanted to make, let's say I put fun in front of physics, right? Because I wanted to emphasize that it's fun. And I wanted to make this italicized with just the word fun. Again, I can use my nesting tags that I learned from earlier. I can use these in any situation where I have text. So even if it's an li tag, it works the same. Everything we learned still applies. So I can have fun there. I click reload, and now it says fun physics with italics, right? So I can use the em tag just like we learned earlier. I can use it here as well. Now, let's say I wanted to add some color here. So I like to think of math as blue, right? I don't know why, I just like to think math is blue. So let's say style equals color blue. Click save, I reload. And now we can see the text for math is actually blue, right? Now let's say I don't want the text to be blue. I want the text to be white, but I want the background color. So background color. I want the background color to be blue this time. I save, I reload. And now we can see this time the text is white, right? The text is white, but the background color is blue. Okay, now let's do the same thing for science. And we can't see the 1 here, but the 1 is still there. The reason why we can't see the 1 is because it's white, right? If we change it to black, you guys will see the 1 again. But the white is just blending in, so don't think it disappeared. The 1 is still there, right? Now we can see the 1. Now let's go to science. Say style equals color green. I think science is green. Now we see all of these science courses have become green, right? And this doesn't just work with our list. Let's say we had a paragraph after this, and it says STEMbridge offers many courses. I hope you join one with me. All right, that's what it says. And here we say style equals, and you can also change the color of this. So color, let's say cyan, right? Save, reload, and we can see here, STEMbridge offers many courses. I hope you join one with me, right? Right now, this text is in the left, right? Let's say I don't want it to be in the left. I want it to be smack dab in the middle of this, right? What I do is I say text align, right? Text align, and let's say center. So there's left, center, right. So center is obviously center, left is left, right is right. So I click save. I reload the page, and now we see it's not in the left anymore. Now it's centered, right? No matter how much I drag this page out, this text stays in the center. So this again, this also applies with headings. So let's say below this one, I say all courses are completely free, no credit card required. Okay? And I spelled some things wrong. That's okay. You can also do it with headings. That's all I want to say. So background color. Let's make the background color black, and so let's make the text color white. Okay? Click save. I reload. And now we can see the text color is white, the background color is black, and it's a heading, right? It's not a paragraph this time, it's a heading. So we can use these properties that we learned with all different kinds of text. And we also overviewed how to use it with the list element. And we also learned how to integrate italics here. So I hope you guys realize that everything we learned connects, right? Nothing we learn is like separate from each other. Don't think of it as each lesson as its own individual thing. All the things we learned are like connected to each other, right? And I hope everybody understood that. Oh, right, we also talked about um what's it called? Sorry, text size. Yeah. Let's also take a look at text size. Let's say I think this paragraph is too small, right? STEMbridge offers many courses. I don't want it to be that small. So I come over here, I say font size, I believe, and let's say 50 pixels, right? I click save, I reload, and now we see the text is much larger, right? So again, it's called font size. So another easy one to remember, 50 pixels, and now we can see that this text is huge. It's even bigger than the heading. So we're not limited to the size of the heading ones, right? We can make our text as big as we want. And in this case, it's this large. So that's all the information we learned today. Um, so we're going to go to the game kit now. Let me do a poll, see if everyone understood. Or you guys want me to zoom out on this document? I think you can see most of it already, though. I can send a screenshot if it really helps. All right, let's do a quick poll. Did you understand today's lesson? All right, I just launched the poll. Okay, it says 89%. That's a bit lower than other classes. It's still relatively high, but today's was a bit more complex. So don't worry if you don't understand. We have the Google Slides, and you can always ask questions in the Discord, all right? I can link the Discord again here. I think I've done it many times now, but I can do it again. Oh, that's the screenshot again. Okay. Here's the Discord link. Anyone have any coding questions? Feel free to ask in the Discord, okay? And now let's get to the GIMP kit. Okay, I want you guys to choose which game we're gonna play. Okay. I launched the poll. Everyone vote which game you would like to play. Don't look down as the parkour one, right? Again, spamming in the chat is not going to change my opinion. Only the poll would. Guys, the homework is always in the system, right? If you're confused about the homework, it's always in the system. But yeah, 1.7, 1.9, 1.10. Yeah, we're skipping 1.8. All right, seems like Fishtopia won. So let's do Fishtopia. I mean, not Fishtopia, sorry, don't look down. One second. Guys, you should not be requesting remote control of my computer. Um, all right, join the game kit. Guys, calm down in the chat. I don't want to have to remove chat privileges, but if I have to, I will. Guys, join with your own names. Don't use any inappropriate names. I'll wait 2 minutes, then I'll start. Um, you can also join in the middle of the game, all right? 1 more minute, and then I'll start the game. All right, I'll start the game. Again, if you have questions while you're playing, you can ask me in the chat. I'll change the font color for a specific word. Um, we're not going to discuss that right now, but it involves nesting tags, is what I'll say. So using that hint, you can probably figure it out. It uses nesting tags to change the font color for a specific word. How do I make a nested UL tag? All right, so like I said before, right? Where's the annotate? Okay, let me just annotate on this. Let's say this is my list, right? I have UL. This is supposed to be this way. Inside of it, I have an LI, right? And then I have a UL here as well. So inside of the LI, let's say there's some words. I have another UL inside of the LI, if that makes sense. And then within that UL, I have more LIs, right? So you can take a look at the example code if you're confused. So how it works is there's a UL. So there's a list. It doesn't have to be OL, it could be an OL. So it could be ordered list or unordered list. Within that list, oh, I accidentally sent it before I finished. Okay, so in that I can put a li, right? And then within that li, I can have another ul. So I just copy pasted what a nested structure kind of looks like. So for people who are watching the recording, I'll also copy it and put it on the screen. That's not the right one. Got a closing tag. I can't put the UL tags without moving the body tags and HTML tags. I don't think I understand. Sorry, I don't really understand what you mean by that. Um, what if I just put the li tag without using OL or UL? Well, you need the OL or UL part because that's the actual like list, right? I don't think it'll give you an error, but yeah, it shouldn't give you an error, but I wouldn't do it. It doesn't really make sense. Can you tell me more about other courses we offer? We offered Python in the past. We're probably going to do that again sometime. Um, but yeah. Other courses, we are planning on making other courses. So if you guys want a sneak peek on that. So again, obviously web development part 2, right? The sign up for that is going to come out very soon. And then there's going to be what else? We're planning on a chemistry course, a biology course for those of you guys interested in science. And we're still thinking about an SAT course. So an SAT course might be in the making as well. So for those of you guys in high school who are taking the SAT, do you know Wikitext is? I don't know what Wikitext is. Do you mind enlightening me? Asia, you have a question? Well, go ahead and ask it. Do we do the other homework if we want to? Sure, you can do it if you want to. Is checkpoints on? I'm pretty sure it's on. All right, game is over. Congratulations, Safwani Pants, on winning. Safwan won. Someone who's not me won. And then Ayan is third. All right. Um, have a great day, everyone. That's the end of class. If you have no questions, you can leave. If you have questions, you can stick around. Who puts the tutors' names for the games? So I don't know what you mean. So we'll know in the futures in the WhatsApp group. Yeah, we'll let you know about future courses in the WhatsApp groups as well as in the Discord. The meeting recording will be posted very soon. Very, very soon.